Aries, and welcome to your reading today. We are going to be doing a monthly reading for you, focusing specifically on love. So welcome, Aries. Today's reading is intended for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or those who have strong Aries placements in their chart. If you're here checking up on an Aries, you are welcome to stay. I don't discriminate against cross-watchers, but if you are cross-watching, I just need you to know that I'm a very honest tarot reader. So if you hear or see something that you don't like, you have been warned, okay? Cross-watch at your own caution and discretion. Now, Aries, the way that this reading is going to work is I'll be pulling a card that will tell us the main theme of your love life over the next month. This is a monthly love prediction reading, so we're looking at mid-March to mid-April. I'll then be pulling tarot to get some specific messages for you, and then we'll close your reading with some advice from Spirit. So let's start with that theme, shall we? Let's have a look at the main theme of your love life, Aries. For Aries, Sun, Moon, Risings, what is the main theme when it comes to their love life over the next month? We have from nothing to everything. Aries, this is the number 16 in this deck. I think there's a passage in this deck that is meant for you as well. So I just want to put this card down, put this deck away, and I want to talk to you about what I'm picking up on. I'm getting some main sort of words for you. These words may resonate, but these are just kind of themes around this theme. So what's kind of standing out for me is a build. It's not like something that happens immediately. It takes time, and it's taken time to get to this point where it feels like it has sustainability. It feels like we can work with this now. I see you building a relationship up or building an attraction towards someone over the next month. It didn't necessarily happen overnight. I want to say that you may be experiencing positive change in a relationship that was once very tumultuous, or maybe your love life has been tumultuous and you've been dealing with some interesting characters, to say the least, and it didn't quite fit. I feel like there's a positive shift for you, and I feel like there's a chance to build something in a different way. We can change the way that we do it when we're building it this time to ensure that it becomes something that fulfills our needs and expectations. I do sense expectations here are going to be key over the next month. I feel like this is about not negatively foreshadowing your love life, but I'll see what tarot has to say about that. This card gives me building vibes. So let's have a look at that passage as well before we move forward into your tarot, because I don't usually do this, but there's been 2 signs now where I felt like there were actually messages in the guidebook. So that's the number 16. Spirit, help me find this. Oh, too far. Ding, ding. Where are you? There we are. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. Have you been shedding your skins, your layers, your certainties? Gone are fixed identities and definite opinions. Keep casting those shackles aside, even if you fear you are releasing too much, and then perhaps you shall cease to exist. You shall only cease to exist as you have known yourself to be thus far. Another emanation of you awaits, blazing angel, something more beautiful and true. Yet here you are at the pruning stage, like a gardener for the soul. Shall the garden spring back to life, or will the enthusiastic denuding process be rather too much and unintentionally kill off the garden altogether? Fear not, your soul is made of hardy stuff. It can handle a lot of culling and will shine even brighter for it. So I do feel this energy of building and creating, and I think that you are working yourself up into something. So let's get some tarot out. Spirit, what is happening for Aries in the month ahead when it comes to love? What is happening for Aries in the month ahead when it comes to love? Aries spirit in the month ahead when it comes to love. Oh my gosh. What's going on here? There. Isn't that bizarre? We've got the Page of Swords coming out for you. We have the Nine of Pentacles, if it will focus. I changed the light settings on my camera, so I don't think it's focusing as well as it used to. And we have something that fell on the ground. Oh, they flipped over, so they're not ours. Or are they? They are ours. Interesting. Back of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. And then these two fell on the ground. We have the Ace of Wands, and we've got the Eight of Swords. So these cards do feature a lot of nudity, so I don't know how much I'm allowed to show. YouTube is an interesting place. They allow some bizarre stuff, and then some things they're very sensitive about. So I'm very careful when it comes to nudity, just because I don't know what they'll accept. Now, I will be clarifying these cards as we go, but I want to talk about your bottom deck energy. For you, you are definitely in the next month when it comes to love, moving forward. I see moving into calmer waters, and I see you leaving people behind. Aries, this isn't just romantic people, this is friends. Or people who you thought were your friends. Complicated individuals who've been carrying too much drama, too much baggage. I don't sense that some of these people are bad people, and I don't sense that moving away from them will be an indefinite thing, but I feel like you need to distance yourself from key people who have been creating unnecessary drama in your life. I see when it comes to love, you are leaving somebody behind. So you may be preparing yourself for a new beginning and separating yourself from something that has kept you in a state of rest or just sort of pausing. Some of you may have been waiting for someone in the past, and I see that you're kind of coming out of this waiting energy and becoming more animated, becoming more action orientated. It feels like you were healing something though in your past. So I feel like we're going into a new state of healing where we're slowly taking more actions and more steps, and being more animated is the key word, I feel. Now, this Page of Swords tells me that in the next week or currently, your energy has to do with you getting curious and investigating something when it comes to love. There may be a love interest in mind right now, someone who has piqued your interest. I want to say that this is more of a curious obsession, nothing too heavy. It's more like your mind is just kind of thinking about someone. You're thinking about this person. This is someone who may appear younger than you, Aries, or they may be someone who you don't know a lot about yet. I feel with this Page of Swords, if you're in a relationship, you're looking at your partner in a new, curious way, and you're examining this relationship with an energy of like, where to from here? But I feel single Aries people, you've got your mind sort of ruminating over someone and trying to kind of figure out what they are to you and what you want to do about them in your life. I see this Page of Swords talking about very sort of minor interactions. So it could be more of like an online thing where you don't have the ability to speak to this person, or if you are able to speak to them, it's not long conversations. It leaves your mind wandering. There's a lot of blanks to be filled by your curious brain. And I want to clarify that card because I feel like there's something else behind this Page of Swords character in your life. I think this person is also quite curious about you, Aries. What's going on with that Page of Swords in the first week of love for Aries? What's going on with that Page of Swords, Spirit? Spirit is giving us the Page of Swords again. So this is definitely a person. With this Page of Swords reversed, I don't believe you have the full picture. It's not that this person is younger than you. For most of you, this person is simply not, you don't know everything about them. You're still figuring things out. So even if you feel like you know this person, something about them has changed. The situation more is to be revealed. And I feel like this is just a case of like thinking, not a lot of deep conversations happening. So I do feel that some of you, yeah, you're getting your interest piqued here by somebody. And this person, maybe it's something that they said that kind of grasped your attention, something that they did that grasped your attention, but they seem to be the main focus in your life right now, or at least over the next week. Now, in the second week, which will be the end of March, we have the Nine of Pentacles here, Aries. So with that card being reversed, I feel like as we close the month of March, your energy is kind of trying to figure out how to progress, where to from here. And you're putting yourself in a position to feel somewhat insecure. I feel like you're going out on a limb here. And I have a feeling that this has to do with you testing something that you've wanted to do, but it's not at all in your comfort zone. And it feels like it has you very afraid of accidentally overstepping a boundary. So with it being the Nine of Pentacles, you may be looking at what you have to offer, looking at the person that you're interested in, and wondering how you fit into each other's lives. You may be questioning what they'll think of your financial situation, whether it's positive or whether it's questionable. I feel like you're looking at what you have to offer when it comes to love, and it has you feeling like you don't have enough to offer. Spirit, what is going on here in the end of March for Aries? That second week in love. Spirit is, you're not going to believe this, giving me another 9. We have the 9 of Wands. So a lot of this has to do with you overcoming a fear and pushing through, and also letting people in. I think with the 9 of Wands upright, that card kind of twisted in my palm, so it's showing me that this is what you make of it. It doesn't have to be this way. It could be the other way as well. I feel like what's going on here is there is a bit of a boundary with you. You're a hard nut to crack, Aries. You're hard to get close to. You're at a point in your journey, especially if you're seeing this, where you're being very careful about who you let in. And I want to say with that 9 of Wands in that position that it was in, I feel like you have the choice here of whether you're going to get past that personal insecurity and let this person closer to you, or whether you're going to be defensive and closed off like you usually do out of defense. Now, your theme is encouraging you to build something. So I do believe that in the end of March, you are trying to maintain healthy boundaries, but also break down those walls and let people in. And I see you being very selective over how you do this, because your bottom deck energy was the 6 of Swords. Not everybody gets a place at your table, but you're being very mindful and aware of who you want to be spending your time with, your energy with. It feels like this is something that you're constantly aware of, and it's just going to be a very prominent theme as we close the month of March, which will be your second week in this monthly love reading. So progressing into your third week, I see some positive improvement for you. I see an opportunity here. This Ace of Wands is presenting itself as a passionate opportunity, and I believe that this is an opportunity because it depends on, again, how much energy you're willing to let in and how much focus you're putting on love at this time in your life. There seems to be this sort of curious character around you who is curious about you, wanting to know more about you, and you're curious about them, thinking about them and filling in a lot of blanks in your mind about them. But this Ace of Wands is encouraging you to use the chances you have to create something here for yourself. I want to say that this is coming across very passionately. So for some of you, this is of more of a sexual nature, okay? This sort of physical attraction, but it does feel like it follows that main theme of building. I don't believe it's just out of the blue. Look at me. Oh my gosh, you're so attractive. It feels like it's building, and it hits this point in the first week of April, which is your third week here in this love reading, where you kind of want to explore options here with this person. So this Ace of Wands could be talking about a blank slate for you. You are a fire sign, and most of the fire signs I know, they need to kind of use fire to rebirth themselves and to give themselves new opportunities. Sometimes it can be volatile, but you're at a point here where we're past that volatile energy and we're just kind of looking at what we do have available for us. So what is this opportunity? We have the 7 of Wands reversed. So this has to do with you re-examining your fears and overcoming them by establishing that some of them weren't real to begin with. The other thing about this is you don't need courage to do this. It's more that you need to believe that you can have this. It has nothing to do with being brave and being courageous. This Ace of Wands opportunity for you is about offering yourself a blank slate and realizing that some of the fears and concerns you have were not necessarily real. And I believe the Seven of Wands is reversed with the Ace of Wands to say that something good is on its way to help curb some of the fears that you've had when it comes to love. This opportunity seems to be what you make of it. So I do believe that this has to do with you letting your guard down a little bit and allowing something to come your way and reciprocating when it does. The Ten of Swords says this is intended to be the end of a tough cycle, the end of you overthinking something as well. It feels like this has to do with you once and for all taking a step away from your past and remaining open to opportunities that are happening for you right here in your present. This has to do with you choosing to see the light. So I do believe that a lot of this is going to be internal, Aries. I am picking up on physical changes for you, physically you moving away from certain people or distancing yourself from people, you physically letting people in by choosing who you want to interact with, you physically making more room for love in your life right now and sort of separating yourself from other stresses or other energetically demanding activities in your life right now. And I feel like this is you physically looking at what you have to offer when it comes to love. And honestly, you don't feel like you have enough or that you're ready enough yet. You feel like you're trying to still focus on your material world or how you see yourself. But at the same time, it feels like opportunity is beckoning and kind of knocking at your door. So it's kind of pushing you to this point where it's encouraging you to see differently and to think differently and to be more optimistic. So let's have a look at that fourth week now. This fourth week is showing us the Eight of Swords. So in terms of our timeline, this will be middle of April, the second week of April. So the Eight of Swords tells me that there's something about your situation that has you feeling trapped, that has you believing that things are never going to change and that you are a victim of your circumstances. This will especially resonate for those who are on a divine counterpart journey. It feels like the energy that you are craving from something in specific isn't measuring up to your reality. I believe there is somebody else aside from your divine counterpart, if you resonate with that message, who has piqued your interest, but they still don't feel like the one that you want to be focusing on. Regardless of people, your mindset here in the middle of April has you feeling like you should be further ahead or in a different situation, but your circumstances have you feeling stuck and helpless. This may coincide with your birthday, sweets, so look after your mental health around your birthday. Mid-April is definitely a time to watch yourself and to check some of those intrusive thoughts. What else can you tell Aries about that mid-April fourth week in love, please, Spirit? What's going on here with this Eight of Swords for them? We have the King of Cups reversed. So somebody very specifically is on our mind. This could be a father figure. If you resonate as feeling certain wounds because of strong male figures in your life, they don't have to be fathers. They could be older brothers. They could be uncles. They could be grandparents. But this is a masculine energy who feels like they're not loving you enough. And in that second week of April, which is the fourth week in our reading, I feel you wishing that things were different, wishing for emotional intimacy or craving support and advice, wanting someone to be more available emotionally and hoping for someone to understand you emotionally. But it seems like you want it from a very specific source, and it's kind of frustrating, Aries, because you're not getting that. You also just don't know when you're going to have that, when you're going to have someone like that. So I feel like, listen, sweets, you have opportunities in front of you, but for some reason you're still thinking about someone else. So that is something for you to reflect on and question. What is going on? Why do I have one beautiful, enticing offer and yet I only want this instead. What is going on? Because that Eight of Swords is a farce. It's a reflection of your mindset, not your reality, but our mind does dictate our reality. So know that you do have choices, you do have options, you're not helpless, but that's what you're telling yourself you are. You're almost saying that you're a victim of this person's lack of love. And I feel with the King of Cups reversed, that mid-April is more about you feeling your emotions kind of coming out in odd ways. And you may just need more time to process how you were feeling in order to help yourself get out of this victim mentality. And you need to validate your feelings along the way, because that's part of the issue here, is that you haven't felt validated in how you're feeling. So I don't mean to minimize what you're going through. By all means, give yourself room to feel and validate your feelings as you move forward, especially around your birthday if you're celebrating in the first 2 weeks of April. Spirit, what is the closing advice for Aries today when it comes to their love? Aries, they're showing me tranquility, which is the violet card in this deck. Tranquility is also associated with the number 43, Pisces, and the air element. So for this card to be reversed, Spirit is saying now is the time to be animated, to act. This isn't about compromising your peace. This is about not settling, because I feel like some of y'all have been in a slower energy. Maybe love hasn't been a priority, or you've just found love to be very stressful of a topic in your life. I do see that stability is not where you're at right now. I see you in a period of growth that will eventually lead to the stability that you seek, but you have to be open to grow in the meantime, and you have to be connecting to your heartfelt desires right now. With Pisces here, you're a very wise person when it comes to love, but it does cause jading sometimes, and I feel like you've been jaded at times based on your previous experiences. So I do see positive growth for you when you use your experiences as measures of wisdom to help you navigate optimistically your current opportunities. I believe there is going to be a lot of thoughts whirling through your mind over the next month. Some of these thoughts are going to be overwhelming and difficult to deal with. They will cause feelings of anxiousness at times, but know that these thoughts are guiding you to a new beginning and helping you realize things that you can end once and for all. Moving forward and building are your key themes. And tranquility reversed is saying that now is not a time to rest. Now is the time to grow, to evolve, and to be open to expansion. Aries, that is what I'm seeing for you when it comes to love. I hope that was helpful. You may also have messages in other placements in your chart, sun, moon, rising, etc. Please look after your beautiful self, Aries. I wish you a wonderful week ahead. Sending you so much love and light, and I shall connect with you very, very soon.